Hello, I'm going to talk about citrate synthase and an article that I'll be using in my paper. All right, the article, the title is STAT3 Regulation of Citrate Synthase and is essential during the initiation of lymphocyte cell growth. It was conducted at the Department of Biochemistry and Microbiology, University of Victoria in Canada, and here are the authors that it was by. Bit of an overview, STAT3 is required for transcription of citrate synthase during acute stimulation of resting lymphocytes. STAT3 is a signal transducer and activator of transcription 3. So citrate synthase promotes accumulation of intracellular citrate to produce lipids necessary for cell growth. Lymphocytes fail to grow and proliferate without STAT3 or citrate synthase following activation and defect rescued by exogenous citrate. So, the synthesis of glucose-derived citrate is catalyzed by citrate synthase through the condensation reaction of oxalate with acetyl-CoA. A role for citrate synthase in cell growth and proliferation has been observed in algae, plants, yeast, bacteria, and worms, where the absence of the citrate synthase contributes to defects in meiosis and cell division. All right, so according to the article, citrate synthase plays a role in the ability for the cell to grow. They did a few different tests. One, to test whether the loss in citrate synthase would impair initial cell growth. DKO cells expressing an inducible SHCS or control SHVEC were generated and starved for 14 days. And then to investigate the sequence of signaling events that regulate initial cell growth, DKO cells were cultured in the absence of IL-3 for 21 days. IL-3 is a protein in humans. And upon IL-3 readdition, the expression of several key regulators of the cell growth was examined. SHCS cells showed a significant reduction in citrate synthase expression and total levels of intracellular citrate compared to the control cells. The effect of citrate synthase suppression was specific to the earliest period of cell growth, as there was no influence on cell size or number in SHCS cells cultured in the continuous presence of IL-3. Right. There's an overexpression of citrate synthase can increase the production of citrate and promote cell growth in A. thaliana and E. coli. The inability to recover size due to the loss of STAT3 immediate expression of citrate synthase is likely a consequence of the subsequent decline in available citrate for production of fatty acids. And like glucose-derived citrate can be exported into the cytosol for de novo fatty acid synthesis or oxidized to produce NADH via the TCA cycle. For this reason, the intracellular level of citrate is a central point of regulation for anabolic or catabolic metabolism in the cell. Upon growth factor stimulation, citrate synthase expression increases concurrently with the activation of STAT3. During this period, loss of citrate synthase and a dramatic reduction in the intracellular levels of citrate as a consequence, there was a complete suppression in cell growth and an inability to initiate proliferation. Alrighty, and this is my works cited for my article.